Welcome back to the workshop of Howard Piano Industries. I'm Steve Howard with Howard Piano Industries, and I'm here to show you today. We're going to be demonstrating with a video showing how to adjust the back checking distance on a grand piano action. Here we've got a model, grand piano action model, which obviously is just a model of one key and one action on a grand piano to show you a side view of what we do here when we're making the adjustments to the back checking distance. This is all part of the regulation process, just one of the steps in the regulation process. We have a couple other videos on adjusting the hammer blow distance and the let off and the drop and the aftertouch and key dip on an action. So here you want to make sure those things are done first. This is the step after that. But basically this piece right here is your back check, okay, and of course here is your hammer. And what happens is as you press the key, I'm going to just go through it really quickly. As you can see, the hammer goes up and then it comes back down, and the tail of the hammer catches on the back check, okay. And the reason that it does that is that it catches the hammer so it doesn't fall down so far. See, if it goes all the way to rest, then it's much further from the string, and so the reason that it back checks is checks the hammer is so that the hammer first of all doesn't just bounce, and the other reason is so that it's closer to the string if you're going to be repeating the note. Okay, so if you're doing fast repetition, repeating the same note quickly, it makes it more efficient that the hammer doesn't have to travel as far when it goes to play the note again. Now there's kind of a variation as far as how close that checking distance should be. Okay, then the checking distance is the distance from the top of the hammer to the bottom of the string. This piece right here is simulating the string. The distance when the hammer is in check, and that's where it's at right there when the back of the hammer is resting on the back check, that's called the checking distance. Okay, and that should be anywhere typically between a 1/2 inch and 5/8 of an inch. Okay, now I've got it adjusted right now, and you can check this with a stainless steel rule. There are gauges that you can get, but I've got it adjusted to about a 1/2 inch right now. So again, between the top of the hammer and the bottom of the string when the hammer's in check. Okay, if you've got it closer, that's going to give you more control. If you've got the checking distance closer, that give you more control when you're playing, fast repetition, where you're repeating the note very quickly, so it gives you more control that way. And then the other thing is that if you've got it a little bit closer, it's going to give you more control as well. So especially in soft playing. So now the way to adjust this is, first of all, you not only want it to check at the right distance, but you also want the back check to catch the hammer at the right angle. Okay, if it's leaning too far back, it's not going to catch consistently, or if it's leaning too far forward, the same kind of thing. It's not going to be consistent. Okay, so you want to check it at different blow volumes. You can hit the key harder or softer. Now the hammer is going to check at a different checking distance depending on how hard you hit the key. So if you do, but this 1/2 inch to 5/8 inch checking distance is based on a medium soft to medium loud blow on the key. Okay, so if you hit it much harder, okay, it may check a little bit lower. If you do it softer, it's going to be closer. Okay, so and if you do it real soft, it may even have trouble checking. Okay, so if I do it right there, it hits the string, but you might be able to see there that the hammer isn't actually in check. Okay, now you want to, there's some things you can do if you've got too little aftertouch, which I probably do in a little bit on this one. Aftertouch could be just slightly more on this action model as I've got it adjusted. That's going to make it so that softer playing is going to still be able to check on the hammer. So those are a couple things to check. Now, when adjusting the wire, okay, you not only want to adjust it for the right angle, but when you go to adjust the checking distance, you're going to push it further back for the hammer. You're going to push the back check further back for the hammer to check lower. Okay, so if it's checking too close to the string, like if it's say 3/8 of an inch, you know, then you've got to push the back check back a little bit further. Okay, and you can do that with your hammer. You want to be careful not to damage things. But we also here I've got these are my factory wire bending pliers. We sell these in our store. This is my favorite tool for adjusting the back checks, especially the angle. You know, because what happens is when you adjust the angle, you not only have to do it up here, but you have to do it on the bottom of the back check wire as well. So you've got the, so you might bend it back, and then if you bend it back, then you're going to have to adjust the top of the wire to get it back into the right angle. Okay, so those are the two. But if you're just doing a slight adjustments, you can just take your finger, you know, hold the front of the key and push back on the back check a slight amount. It doesn't take very much adjustment here to make a difference in the checking distance. So so that's how to adjust the checking distance on a grand piano. And again, we want that to be 1/2 inch to 5/8 inch from the string when the hammer's in check. But if you have any other questions, you know, feel free to let us know. We have lots of videos on our YouTube channel and on our website. Website is howardpianoindustries.com.